Never Stop Learning, week 288. We're going to take a quick look at the new type features in Adobe Illustrator CC 2017. All right, so we got some new type features for the Creative Cloud. We actually have had some in previous builds as well, and I'm over here trying to catch up. So I'm going to go through all the ones that I really like and the ones that stand out to me. If I happen to miss any, please let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to highlight them in a future video. All right, so let's get started by hitting the T key on the keyboard. That's going to activate the type tool. All right, now if I click once, right away you see the first one I wanted to talk about. You get some lorem ipsum text. Now, if you're not familiar with what lorem ipsum text is, it's just placeholder text. It's so that if you're designing and you don't have the actual text, you'll get an idea of what your final product's going to look like without having it. All right, now if you see that little black box around it, it's not actually a black box. That just means that my text is selected and I could start typing in some new text here. So if I go with Adobe Grind, notice it's going to fill it in with that. All right, if I hit Command A on a Mac, Control A on a PC, everything is selected again. All right, I'm going to go over some more lorem ipsum stuff for you, but I wanted to show you this as well real quick. I'm going to hold down the Command key again, and notice I get this like bounding box around there. That's going to allow me to change the size of my font. Here, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to click and drag. Now I'm resizing this or creating a transformation. But if I introduce the Shift key, everything's going to be nice and proportioned. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and release, and there we go. So now I have my font at its new size, and everything looks great. So a couple little new features right in there. If you hit Command K on a Mac, Control K on a PC, that's going to bring up your preferences. Over here on the left, when you click on Type, this is where you're able to turn off some of these new features. All right, so go through this and you can pick and choose which ones you want to use. All right, I'm going to hit Cancel to get out of that. And let's go back to the lorem ipsum. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. I wanted to show you other situations you might see it. So I have the type tool activated. I'm going to do a click and drag, just bringing out some area text. And once I release, there we go. We have some lorem ipsum in there for us. All right, let me get rid of that. Now, if you create a custom shape, here I have an ellipse. All right, I'm going to hit the T key on my keyboard. Notice when I'm in the center of this shape, I have like a box around my cursor. If I were to click right now, I would just create point text. But if I go over the path, notice now I have like a circle around my cursor. All right, that's what I'm looking for. That lets me know that if I click on the path, it's actually going to fill in this area with text. And again, you're going to see the lorem ipsum. All right. Now, I'm going to bring up the curvature tool just to create a quick little arc here. All right, just like that. Hit the T key to bring up the type tool. Now, when I hover over the path, I get that little wavy line that I'm looking for. That wavy line tells me that I'm going to create type on a path. If I hover away from the path, then I get that box or that square around my cursor. And that's telling me that I'm going to create some point text or that I could click and drag to create some area text. All right, come back over here. I got the wavy line. I'll click there once and boom, you guessed it, some more lorem ipsum. So those are the different situations where you're going to see it come up. All right, I'm going to get rid of that. Hit the T key again just so I could lay out some point text. All right, so there's the lorem ipsum. My type is selected. That looks great. Over here at the top, if I click on character, I have access to the character panel, but currently it's kind of blocking things, right? So I'm going to get rid of that. Go into the window menu. Now this is where you find all your panels. So if I'm looking for the character panel, I might think to look around here somewhere in the C's, right? But I don't see it there because it's actually part of the type group down over here. So first you want to go to type and then you'll see this little subgroup and that's where you're going to find character. Or you can just hit Command T on your keyboard, Control T on a PC, and that's going to bring up your character panel for you. All right, cool. So now I get this little floaty panel here. You could always click on these double arrows to extend or contract these guys, but all the new features are going to be found right in here. All right, so if I click on this drop-down menu, we have these filters over here. All right, currently it's showing me all classes, but if I click on the drop-down menu, I could go with just my serifs. I could go with my sans serifs, whatever I want. Script, I got handwritten and all that. I'll go back to all classes. You might have noticed another new feature. As I hover over all these different fonts, you're seeing my text being updated, and this is going to allow me to just quickly see what's going to work with my design. I used to be a t-shirt designer, and this would have came in handy in so many situations. Right away I think of a client coming in, they know what they want their shirt to say, they just don't know what font to go with. So here I could actually scroll through different ones and they could point out one and say, that one's perfect. Or I could go through and start trying to find some that I like and maybe giving them as suggestions. So this is a really cool feature. It's going to save me a lot of time. Now back to these filters. You could also filter down to just show your typekit fonts. So here I have these installed. If you click on that same icon again, then it kind of turns that feature off and then you get to see all your fonts again. Here, if I click on the star, it's showing me the favorited fonts that I have on my machine. All right, so I'll turn this guy off. And then the last one, these little wavy lines, it's a different type of filter. It's gonna show me similar fonts. All right, so let me pick a fun font, one that my friend Carlos likes. All right, so I'll go with Zapfino. And back in the drop-down menu, I'm going to choose this option here, Apply Similar Filter. Clicking on that is going to show me all the fonts that are on my machine that are similar to the one that I have selected over here. Now, if you notice, some of the classifications might not be accurate. That might be how the font was created or something like that. So you want to make sure that you always get your fonts from a trusted foundry, and that'll pretty much ensure that you'll end up in the proper class. All right, so I'll turn this guy off. So that's all the different filters. The cool thing is you could actually use them in combination. So if I just do typekit, there we go. Now it shows me all the typekit fonts. Here it's all my favorite typekit. And over here I could do like, let's say a script typekit. So you could use them in combination to get really specific and find the exact font you're looking for. I just see this as a really good time saver, so I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so let's get this guy out of the way. The last thing I wanted to show you was working with glyphs. All right, so let me go with a different font here. Actually, I want to go with one of my typekit fonts, and I wanted to go with this one right here, Warnock Pro. All right, so Warnock Pro might not look that exciting right now, but check this out. If I target one of these letters just by selecting it, once I release, I get this little annotation here that's showing me the different glyphs that are available for this font for this specific character. All right, so I have a couple different M's I could choose, and I even have this little decorative piece here. All right, so let's go with this I. I have these different letter I's that I could choose, or I could choose this little graphic right here. All right, now glyphs are not new to Illustrator. You've always had them. You could come over here to the type and then choose glyphs. All right, that's over in the type menu at the top, and that's how you find the glyphs panel. All right, if you're not using the Creative Cloud, that's probably how you want to access your glyphs. But for me, I don't need to do that anymore because I'm going to have quick access to them right over here. And again, I could see this just speeding up my workflow even further. So there you have it, folks. That's a quick look at the new type features in Adobe Illustrator CC 2017.